Welcome to Claiming Space, the podcast. I'm Gail Austin, an advocate for caregivers, a dreamer, an iPhone photographer, and a self confessed museum lover. Oh, and I'm the mother of two adult children, one who is disabled, and I am her caregiver. As a caregiver, it took me some time to learn how to carve out space for me and to be okay with claiming my space. But once I did, this simple step allowed me to stay fueled, fulfilled, and replenished. Each week, I will share my stories, my journey, and ways I stay inspired as a caregiver. Join me for shared stories, connections, special guests, and inspiration. Hi, and welcome to episode 7. I've been back and forth about what I wanted to talk about this week. Do I stick with my original planned story, or do I pivot and share a topic that is weighing on me right now? I have to admit, I've rearranged my podcast list several times because I want to stay in tune with my spirit and to authentically share stories that allow my words to flow from a place of truth. But most importantly, I want the stories I share to inspire and spark reflection. So I went back to the episodes I outlined, rearranged them again, and in some instances also retitled a few episodes, and I landed on a time that shaped who I am today. That time when I was a member of the band, the marching band. Let's chat about the evolution of a flag girl. When I initially thought I was going to write my memoir, I'm using air quotes here, I wanted to talk about the young girl who was a lead flag twirler in junior high and then on color guard in high school. I was going to go into this big, huge thing about how that experience shaped me into someone who, for many years, focused on precision. But I'm going to take a little different spin because I was speaking with a friend recently about the band experience. She's a band geek too. And she said something that really resonated with me about band, about why we love it so much and why we still love it. And yes, I still like watching college band clips when they pop up into my feed. You know what was so special about band? It was a sense of belonging. That sense you were part of a team, part of a unit, and something more. Being in the band was a little different than being the athletes out there on the field, but in some ways it was the same. You have your own regiment, your own set of rules to follow, and you work cohesively as a group. And once everybody is doing their part, these beautiful things show up on the field. When the horns are doing their things and the drums are doing their things, and what we called band front was in the zone. I was on the color guard, which used tall flags, and we also had a kick line squad, which were a group of dancers, and a flash flag squad, which was a group that twirled smaller flags. As a group, we learned the routines, the music, and went out there every single game and performed. I loved every minute. Even for my 40th high school reunion, a few of us went to a high school football game the night before the official reunion gathering. And when the band performed, we were like, hmm, what would Dr. Keener think? I know you're going, who is Dr. Keener? He was our band director, and he was all about the total show band performance experience. We were performers and were professional, and we stayed ready and in formation before, during, and after the show. He was a perfectionist. He wanted our performances to be college level. Everyone had to be in step. The music performance was college level. The spiral should look a certain way. Our lines had to be straight. It was showtime all the time. When Dr. Keener called you out, you listened. So I want to share a funny or scary Dr. Keener story. I think for 17-year-old Gail, it was scary. When I think about this now, I realize it allowed me to step into my power before I realized my worth. When you experience an impactful moment in your life, you carry it with you and it shows up at different times. Music or colors or images bring you right back to that moment. So here's the story. To prepare for the upcoming band season in late summer, we spent a week in what was called Band Front Camp, which was an intense training session where the three groups, the color guard, the flash flags, and kick line, learned their main routines. And then during the second week, we had band camp and the full band joined us. And then we put it all together. Big show, put it all together. And typically during our band performances, the color guard, because we had the big tall flags, were positioned in the back of the band or on either side of the band. We were never kind of in the front. We were always kind of around surrounding the band. But this year was different. For our homecoming game, color guard was going to be up front and featured for the first time. And we were doing a routine to the Rocky theme. And just to level set, this was during the 70s, the late 70s, when the movie first came out. And this was a sacred piece of music for a school on the main line, which suburbs of Philadelphia. So it really was a thing that we were doing this music. And so we were doing this routine to Rocky, which I swear I still hear the music in my head and can visualize the first 5 to 10 steps of that routine. Like forever, it will be in my head. Everyone was performing the routine and we're doing our thing. And at some point, Dr. Keener said, I need everybody to sit down except for the band and Gail Austin. And I was like, uh-oh, oh, oh crap. What did I do? As I stood there, Dr. Keener told everyone he wanted them to watch how I was performing the routine because this is how he wanted them to perform their routines. He wanted precision. Now keep in mind, this is before people captured everything on video. So in some ways, I'm thankful there's no record of this on film, but there are stories out there because people came to watch us practice. I managed to calm myself down. I was really nervous and do the full routine. Honestly, during the routine, all I was thinking about was hoping I didn't have a wardrobe malfunction because on that particular day, I was wearing a buttoned up kind of shirt. And in my head, I was repeating, please don't let my shirt pop open. Please don't let my shirt pop. Crazy things you think of when you're doing things, but that's what I was thinking. And plus, anything was possible. I was raising my arms and marching and twirling around to do this flag routine with this big, tall flag. Luckily, no wardrobe malfunctions occurred. I made it through, and then Dr. Keener told everyone, this is what I'm looking for. Your moves should be sharp and precise. When I look back on this moment, I don't focus on being scared. I think about being prepared. I was ready to go. It's one of the lessons I learned from my band experience. Be ready. But being in the band also taught me about connection, community, kindred spirits. You see, Dr. Keener was teaching us about more than being precise. We learned how to get along, that feeling of team, of cohesion, of collaboration, of everyone working together as a unit. You're working together because you want something to be fabulous. You're not arguing with each other. The focus is the greater entity. We are all a unit. We all have a part to play, and we're all going to do our part. No one is pulling the focus. It's funny as you go through life, you find new tribes to build connection and community. And a conversation can spark a memory, and that youthful joy emerges. I love my time with the band, and it still makes me smile. I think that pure sense of team is missing today. We seem to struggle with a constant competition cycle. And don't get me wrong, some competition is a good thing, a healthy thing. But in the end, you get further when you combine and pull your strengths. And the best part, everyone is all in. So, how did this flag girl use these lessons? I still enjoy being part of a team, working towards something together, recognizing everyone's contributions, strengths, and their worth because it makes us stronger. I've managed lots and lots of projects over the years. And the first thing you learn is you cannot do it all by yourself. You need experts in certain areas to do their part. And you need to acknowledge everyone's contributions to the finished product. This wonderful, productive, and beautiful thing. And the same applies to life, my life. I don't feel like I need to be the center of everything. Everybody has their moment, whether it's my children, my friends, or my family. I acknowledge those moments and I listen to them and honor them. It took me a while to learn that. So, my final message this week is find those opportunities where you can be part of something and be in it and let everybody have their role and their part. Raise everybody up because that's when the beauty happens. That's when the magic happens. Allow yourself to receive input from others and be part of the collective coming together. It's a beautiful thing. This flag girl evolved into a woman that loves and appreciates the power of the collective. What about you? Thank you for listening to this episode, and please share this link with your friends. Rate the podcast and follow me on Instagram and Patreon. The Claiming Space movement is here to support and provide a safe community where caregivers are acknowledged and seen. Enjoy the rest of your day.